What's up guys, I hope you're doing okay. Back here with another great video. What's happening at McLaren's lead positions? Seidl leaving? Well, stick around as we dive a little deeper into the matter. Now, the positive impacts of Seidl's contributions at McLaren cannot be ignored. In less than 4 years in charge, Seidl has been instrumental in leading the club to recover from the lows of their slump from 2015 to 2018. And establishing themselves as a front-of-the-midfield runner. With CEO Zak Brown, Seidl oversaw significant changes in McLaren's restructuring and personnel that led to the team's first victory in a Grand Prix in almost a decade. These changes helped McLaren finish 4th twice and 3rd once between 2019 and 2021. And they enabled the team to take their first victory in nearly a decade. All of this had been meticulously planned out as a part of a strategy to get back to the front of the grid. While McLaren has announced that Andrea Stella will be promoted from Executive Director of Racing to Team Principal with immediate effect, Seidl will begin his new role as Chief Executive Officer of the Sauber Group in January 2023. Since graduating from the Sapienza University of Rome with a degree in aerospace engineering more than 22 years ago, Stella has worked in various positions that have given him cross-company responsibilities. However, his promotion to team principal marks the first time he will take on the role of a leader. Despite this, he already has vast experience working in Formula 1. His first job in Formula 1 was as a performance engineer for Ferrari's test team in 2000. And he got his start in the sport without leaving his native country. After demonstrating his worth on the test team, he was promoted to the same position on the race team in 2002 and continued to work on Mick Schumacher's car for the next 5 seasons. Kimi Räikkönen took over the driver's seat for the team after Michael Schumacher stepped down at the end of 2006. In 2009, Stella was promoted to race engineer for Kimi Räikkönen, having previously served as his performance engineer. He continued in that role with his successor, Fernando Alonso, who he accompanied to McLaren in 2015. It is believed that Audi was the mastermind behind the move for Seidl. Well, Audi just recently completed a deal to buy into Sauber and make the team their F1 entry in 2026. McLaren hired Stella to oversee their race operations, and the company promoted him to performance director the following year, 2018. After the conclusion of the 2019 campaign, he was promoted to a new role, which he played up until Seidl left the organization. Frédéric Vasseur, officially named Ferrari's new team principal a few weeks ago, has been succeeded by Seidl as the team's new team principal. The German will begin working on the appointment of a new team principal, which Sauber stated will be communicated at the appropriate time. Before joining McLaren in 2019, Seidl was the team principal for Porsche's World Endurance Championship team. He also worked alongside Markus Duesmann, the current CEO of Audi, at Sauber in the 2000s when the team was still affiliated with BMW. Seidl is the 3rd team principal to leave his position in the past 24 hours. Williams announced that Jost Capito would step down at the end of the year, and then Vasseur's departure from Alfa Romeo was made official. The accelerated departure of Seidl from McLaren, which is being done to get the Alfa Romeo Sauber team ready for Audi's entry into Formula 1 in 2026, will be seen as a blow to McLaren's aspirations. After Andrea Stella was named as Seidl's successor with immediate effect, the CEO of McLaren, Brown, held a press conference in which he explained the chain of events that led to the changes. Crash.net was one of the media outlets that attended the press conference. Brown explained that Seidl informed McLaren during the 2022 season that he would leave upon the expiration of his contract at the end of 2025 to lead Audi's Formula 1 project. During the holiday break, McLaren planned to announce their plans, which included retaining Seidl in the role of team principal until 2026, when Stella was scheduled to take over for him. But, as a result of Binotto's departure from Ferrari and the Italian team's swift hiring of the former head of Alfa Romeo Sauber, Vasseur, events moved along more quickly than expected, which led to McLaren deciding to release Seidl from his position sooner than they had originally intended. Brown also mentioned that Andreas, who has been doing an excellent job at McLaren for the past few seasons, informed him during the season that he was going elsewhere when his contract with McLaren expired at the end of 2025. According to Brown, this was done in a very open and honest manner. Given his history, it was probably pretty obvious where that destination would be, which was quite understandable, right? Now, although Brown revealed Stella was always the team's first choice to succeed Seidl, describing the Italian as highly talented, experienced, and respected, the step up to team principal will be new territory for the organization. Stella is expected to continue building on the solid foundations that Seidl established, and McLaren is confident he will be able to do so. This will ensure that the team will maintain momentum after their encouraging revival. In a recent statement, Norris emphasized the significance of having faith in McLaren's project. Norris's recent success is largely attributed to Seidl, who served as their first boss in the Formula One championship. The Briton did not sign a long-term contract to remain at McLaren until the end of 2025 until February of the previous year. This deal reflected Seidl and Brown's commitments to the team. When Norris put pen to paper over the new terms, Seidl spoke about how his signature was an important message from their side that they could get there in these next 4 years. However, after 10 months, Seidl has moved on to greener pastures, having been enticed by the prospect of working on yet another exciting project and the opportunity to rejoin the Volkswagen Group. What does that imply about the level of faith that Seidl has in McLaren? And does this raise questions about the future of Norris's position? In response to the news, Norris tweeted that he had a great time working with Seidl. In addition, he recently disclosed that before signing a new contract with McLaren, he had discussions with several different teams, including Red Bull. The 23-year-old driver is considered one of the most promising young drivers in Formula One. His reputation has continued to soar to new heights thanks to the outstanding performances he has delivered on his way to 7th place in the 2022 World Championships, as the best of the rest, trailing only the drivers of Red Bull, Ferrari, and Mercedes. It should be no surprise that teams like Red Bull and company would be interested in Lando Norris. McLaren has admitted they were eager to prevent this competition by signing Norris to a long-term contract. In 2022, McLaren experienced a setback when Alpine knocked them down to 4th place in that Constructors' Championship. Furthermore, Norris was only able to take one podium finish that year. Norris told Sky that he did not believe McLaren achieved what it should have in 2022. He went on to say that if they want to do well, if they want to be champions at some point, and if they want to win races, they can't be satisfied with where they have been this season, but they can be satisfied with the progress that they have made. He concluded by stating that the mechanics with their pit stops, their strategy, and the entire team's work ethic, well, just so many things appear to be working well. It's just that they could use a slightly better car. He went on to say that the whole team's work ethic was impressive. Especially in light of Seidl's departure, 2023 will be a crucial year for McLaren in terms of their efforts to persuade Norris that they're still on the right path to accomplishing their objectives. If Norris's self-assurance begins to wane or he becomes frustrated as he waits to join the fight at the front of the grid, there's a possibility that he'll be tempted to abandon ship. Stella's extensive experience as a performance and race engineer, during which he worked with the likes of Michael Schumacher, Kimi Räikkönen, and Fernando Alonso, is expected to only strengthen the relationship between Norris and McLaren. Naturally, McLaren will try to persuade Norris that they are the best team for him, and McLaren will hope that Stella's background will help them achieve this goal. The passage of time is the only factor that can shed light on whether or not McLaren's hopes of retaining arguably the most desirable driver on the F1 grid were dashed by Seidl's hasty departure. Stella believes he's well prepared to take on the challenge, even though McLaren will feel the impact of losing Seidl's experience. Stella claims that throughout his career he has dealt with and been exposed to the engineering and racing aspects of Formula One, and he'll be close to the primary goals of the team, which are ultimately to construct a fast car and to race this car effectively while it is on track. He also adds that he believes there are strong elements of integration and combination between his characteristics and Zach's, which leads him to believe that this is an excellent combination. Well, what do you think? Share your thoughts in the comment section down below, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe button for more amazing content. Until next time, bye.